We're talking about hiring the right people, planning for growth. What does it look like, in your business? It is expanding a team or growing team, starting that process off. Because as you grow your business, you're going to need to grow some sort of team, right? Every individual here, every single agent on this call is on a team. And we say, well, Danny, no, actually, I'm an individual agent. I'm not on a team. Yes, you are, because you have your broker, you have your mortgage broker or your loan officer, you have the receptionist at your office. You have that in place, right? We call that your extended team members, right? So every agent here in this call has that. The question becomes, at what point do you move in to getting in an assistant? Right? What point in your career, it's like, hey, I actually need a full-time assistant. When do we do that? Right? So I want you to write this down. So if an agent is doing anywhere from 20 to 30 transactions, that's when we start moving into assistant. Right? We need to get an assistant. So what does an assistant look like? Well, they're going to be managing your clients and your files, right? To basically create that raving fans from your database, your past clients and influence database, right? They're going to complete tasks for lead generation systems. They're going to manage your listings and even your off-market listings that you may have, right? They're going to manage your schedule. That's probably the most important thing they can do, is manage your schedule, right? Basically taking you out of those minutia, those tasks that you can pay someone, $20 an hour. Have you taken the time to figure out what your hourly rate is worth? Have you figured it out? How much are you worth per hour? Is it $100, $500, $1,000, $2,000 an hour? Right? What's your worth? Now, having someone to do those minutia tasks, the emails, the scheduling, the setting appointments for yourself, right? That would be an assistant. They're going to run the office more effectively and basically more productive by taking that off your plate, right? And really what it comes down to it is they're also going to work on your systems, right? I hear this a lot. Hey, Danny, I need my systems. I need my lead follow-up system, my lead gen systems. I need systems. Well, you know what? Having an assistant to do that, who will create, hey, this is the system we're going to do when we get a listing coming in. That takes you off the plate. It takes that off your plate. So real important having a system. All right. Then we move on to what happens when you're like 31 to 60 transactions. What does that look like? What does that team structure look like? So obviously you're the team lead, you're the agent, you're going to have your extended team members. We know that. Then you're going to have your assistant. And then you may want to consider a couple of options here, a few options. You may want to consider, for example, a ISA, an inside sales associate, who will nurture the leads that come in and work with those leads. You may want to consider going into having a buyer showing agent, a buyer agent. And then you may want to have an all-in-one kind of coordinator. We call this either a marketing coordinator, social media coordinator, or an all-in-one. So either approach, right? So you can have an all-in-one who's going to be doing the inside sales and deal with the transaction and deal with marketing, which is separate from your assistant. And this is something that you need to understand, is people have different skill sets. The skill set that someone will have for an assistant will be different than someone who's a marketing coordinator, who may be doing social media, who may be doing some online marketing, right? So we're bringing in more of a specialized roles. The same thing applies with an inside sales associate. When we look at an inside sales associate, right, an ISA, they're the ones going to be on the phones, connecting with people. They're the ones sending the text messages, emails, the back and forth, the nurturing of the leads. So something to think about. That's a completely different skill set. Right? And as we continue to grow your team, we start to move this forward. We get to, let's say, 61 to 100 plus transactions. How does this team look like? Well, first it's you as the team lead. Then it's going to be your extended team members, your assistant. Now we break down your ISA, buyer agent, maybe a couple buyer agents. Then you have your that whole coordination, the all-in-one coordinator actually gets changed. You might have a transaction coordinator. That's all they do is the transactions, right? You may want to have a marketing coordinator separate from a listing coordinator. And then, of course, you may also want to bring in a listing specialist, right? So as the team continues to grow, there's more and more members to it, right? So then let's look at that. What are their roles? What does that look like on your team, right? So an inside salesperson will focus on obviously reaching out to your customer base, reaching out to any leads that you may have, right? Their focus will be on, incoming calls, outgoing calls, setting up appointments for your outside salespeople, for your buyer agents, for your listing agents. It'll be qualifying and following up all the different leads. Also, big thing would be prospecting on the phones, making calls. It's not just the nurturing part. To be honest with you, one of the best things you can do with building a team would be to have every team member, including your min person, work their database. Think about that for a second, right? I'm hiring an assistant, right? How do I pay for them, right? I may be in a position where I really want an assistant, but funds, I don't know if I can justify that 40 or 50 or 60,000 a year that I have to pay for them, depending on your marketplace. Well, if you bring in an assistant, and one of the criteria you want to have is make sure they're not family, they're not related to you, and they're not part of your circle of friends. Like, that is huge, to not bring anyone as part of your circle of friends. So you want them to have their own database, their own tribe that they're part of. And then remember how we work our database, our past clients and influence database, that sphere, right? When putting them into that system, our goal should always be to get 10% from that database. So if this assistant brings in, for example, 200 people that she may know, well, that's 20 transactions. And if that's 20 transactions, just calculate that out. 20 deals, average commission check, $10,000. That's $200,000 that she can bring in just based upon who she knows, following your system that you're already using for your database. Now, you pay a salary. Let's call it, I'm going to say $25 an hour, right? She works 40 hours, right? You're paying her $52,000 for the year. You've made $200,000. Her salary is paid for. Now, I would throw in there, of course, some bonus money, right? Perhaps $1,000 per transaction, just giving simple numbers. So she just made another $20,000 on top of her $52,000. She's at $72,000 for the year, and you're bringing in another $128,000. Now, that's a win-win. Do you not agree? That's a win-win. You hire an assistant, you make them nurture. So what do you have to do with that? Real simple. Follow the plan of action that you're using already for your past clients and influence database, right? You have her call her database 1 hour a day. That's it. Talk to 5 people. You're paying her to prospect people she knows. Can she call her database about real estate? 100%. You can call whoever you want and talk to them about whatever you want to talk about. Now, can she call someone she does not know and talk about real estate? And that's a big no-no. No, you're not a licensed professional. You can't do that, right? But you can call your best friend. You can call your mom and talk about real estate. No one's going to say boo to you. So this is a way in getting an assistant on board and paid for. Right? Highly recommend that. All right, next we're going to go into, I talked about inside salesperson. What do they have to do? Transfer hot leads into the team members. Yes, provide regular reports. Marketing coordinator. Do you guys know what a marketing coordinator is? Marketing coordinator is an assistant that will manage all your marketing, all your promotion in your business. They oversee and manage your social media, the different accounts that you have, all the different platforms, the content creation, public relations, and also, of course, lead generation. And it's all part of, and again, like I said before, You know, you get a marketing coordinator that may have 200 people in their database. They're going to do the same exact thing as your assistant just did. Right? What else is a marketing coordinator going to do? Well, you know what? I really believe that the biggest problem that we have as agents is we get caught up in the minutiae. I don't know what to record. I know I want to do more videos and I don't know how to do it. Well, you know, if having someone that can produce that content for you, right? And the strategy and the planning and create that whole day, say, here is what we're going to be talking about. Here's some bullet points. We're going to put this together. And then, you know, they draft it out, they schedule, they put everything together, shoot the video. And what I would look for in a marketing coordinator, the little bit of skill on how to edit. Be honest with you. Do you know how expensive it is to hire a videographer to shoot a video? Like, we look at $250 as per video, and this is a 5-minute video. We're good with that. I know some agents have paid like $1,500 for like an 8-minute video. And I'm like, no, that doesn't work for me. No, that's wrong. I mean, that you can get yourself a marketing coordinator for that. That kind of price point, 8 minutes, $1,500. No, right? So having someone that can edit your video, create the video, because here's the thing. Do we need more videos? Say yes, right? Understand the power, the reach that a video has, right? If you get a lead that comes in organically from your social media platforms, anyone, like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, doesn't matter, but they connect with you because they saw your video. That lead is just as good as a referral from your database. Just as good. They're going to come in and say, I know you, Danny. I've been watching you, and come list my home. It's come list me calls is what you're going to get. Right. And that comes because of the video content you're putting out there and you resonating with people. Now, are you going to resonate with everyone? Of course not. So it's almost like a qualification. Right? You're actually going to qualify that appointment because people that don't like the way you sound, the way you look, the way you talk, and what you say aren't going to call you. And that's perfect. That works for me. Those that are, that's pre-qualifying my listing appointment by doing my videos, right? Really think about that. So I like the idea. And again, different skill sets. Your assistant will have one set of skill set. Your ISA will have a different set of skill set. And of course, your marketing coordinator will have a completely different skill set. So when hiring, you're going to say, well, Danny, I have three assistants. Like, yeah, there's no wrong way to build a team as long as it's profitable. Once you write that down, there's no wrong way to build a team as long as it's profitable. Right? I have some agents that have like 4 assistants and 1 person, like team lead, 4 assistants, no buyer agent, no listing agent. They do all that, right? And they have 4 assistants. Nothing wrong with that as long as you're profitable. And then I have some that are a little bit undermanaged. They may have 1 assistant and it's the office receptionist, right? And they have like 3 different buyer agents, 3 different listing agents. And I'm like, all right. As long as it's profitable, right? So look at what are your needs. What are your needs in your business, in your team right now, right? And again, if you're approaching that 30 deal mark, 20 to 30 deal mark, I'm like, yeah, I'm jumping in right now to an assistant. Now, if you're sitting at, let's say, 10 to 20 deals, I'm like, Danny, I'm not quite up there yet. I want to get up there. I can see the 20 to 30. I'm at like 10 deals. Start off with a virtual assistant. Start off with a virtual assistant, right? Get that into practice. Stop doing the little work. Stop that. Your job is really simple. It's get in the office, talk to people, like generate some leads, set some appointments. That's all you have to do in the whole morning. Set some appointments, go on appointments. That's what you should be doing. Morning time, setting appointments. Afternoon, evening, going on appointments. That's it. That should be you. And of course, I'm missing a big piece, which is practice your craft. Obviously, keep practicing the scripts and dialogues and how to get better at handling objections and your presentations, because that is part of it, right? That's your job. That's your job description. Everything else, someone else can do. You realize that. Everything else, putting up a lockbox, staging a home, right? I don't care how staging a home. I have no experience. I don't care. Why do I have to be there? Get someone else to do it. Measuring rooms? No, get someone else to do that, right? So that's what we're looking for is, hey, what can you do? Get it off your plate. And if you're 10 to 20 deals, I would say just go to a virtual assistant right away. All right, questions, concerns, hallucinations. What do you guys got? No, you guys are good? All right, so please unmute yourselves. Please unmute yourselves. All right, I'm just curious. What day is today?
Money making day.
Oh, that was a good one. That was good, guys. That was awesome. It's a money-making day. What do you have to do in your business right now to help you move the needle? You guys are awesome. I'll talk to all of you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Danny.